lot to do with what my speech is about, which is childhood obesity. The reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I plan on having kids one day, and I think that it is my responsibility to keep them healthy. And this relates to you guys as well, because you probably want to have kids as well. So the three main things I'm going to talk about is the magnitude of childhood obesity in America, the causes of it, and preventative actions that we can take in order to make this big problem go away. So for the magnitude, I have three different sources with some pretty frightening facts about obesity. The first is from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which is a subsidy of the U.S. government. And it says that approximately 80% of children who were overweight at ages 10 to 15 years were obese adults at age 25 years. That is a huge margin of people who stay obese, and that needs to be changed. Now from the Obesity Society, which is basically an organization that studies obesity and ways to prevent it, they found that childhood obesity is regarded as the most common prevalent nutritional disorder of U.S. children and adolescents, and one of the most common problems seen by pediatricians. Now that's pretty shocking because most Americans wouldn't think that at all. They would think, oh, maybe diabetes or cardiovascular disorders, but no, obesity is the worst. And then from kidshealth.org, I found that the percentage of overweight children in the United States is growing at an alarming rate. One out of 3 kids is now considered overweight or obese. That is 1/3 of kids in America, and that is just absolutely ridiculous. So basically, I think that you can get on a scale how bad obesity is in America. Now I'm going to talk about the causes for it. Going back to the Obesity Society, they listed quite a few really good reasons for it, and some of them were actually surprising. The first one is parent obesity. Like I said earlier, parents influence their kids so much, and basically the way the parents are can have a lot of effect on how the kids are. Also, their parenting style and their food choices that they provide for their kids. Another large one is physical activity versus sedentary activity, which means, say, going outside and playing as opposed to watching TV or playing video games. Also, eating patterns and even low birth weight. If a child is born with a lot of problems or is premature, they have a lot higher chance of becoming obese. And so it's actually really interesting, and people should know these facts. And now I'm going to talk about preventative actions that we can take in America. From kidshealth.org, I found that, well, of course, healthy eating is the #1 thing that can help change kids. And so, also exercise is a big deal, and even in schools in America, a lot of physical education is taken away, and that can definitely be changed. And of course, parents taking action. That's the huge thing, is what kind of foods they provide, the portion sizes, like